Hey guys, how many of you like to go hiking? I know I do. I love going up in these mountains back here, and the harder the trail, the more I like it. Yeah, maybe I'm just crazy. But one thing about the hard trails versus just the flat ones, I just call them basically a nature stroll. The difficult trails, the ones that are rated extremely difficult, for me personally, they require hiking poles. Yeah, these things help me dig in as I'm going up and help control my descent coming down. Really, really effective, and if you haven't used them before, I encourage you to do so, especially if you're carrying a heavy backpack. Well, let me tell you a little backstory that motivated this video, so I do it for you. Years ago, I decided to go on one of these tough trails, and I'd driven a ways to get to it, and when I arrived, I found out that dogs have to be on a leash on a trail. Well, I hate that, honestly, especially if the dog's under control, but I get it. You gotta obey the rules. So I hooked Captain up on my leash there, and I grabbed my hiking poles, and this was the first time I'd ever gone hiking with Captain with my poles. Up to that point, I really never needed them. It wasn't a difficult hike. Well, he freaked. And I don't even know if that's the proper definition for it. The second he started seeing these sticks, giving it this right here, in fact, he's sitting over here right now, he just backed up a little bit. I mean, the second he saw this, that was it. It's a good thing I practice what I preach, because the loop on the end of my leash, I made sure that my thumb was in it, not my whole hand, just like I preach to you guys. Because when he exited stage left, I was able to get out of that in a real hurry and not turn that whole scene into a tragedy. Well, needless to say, when I got back home, I thought, okay, I can't go through that again. That was miserable because I couldn't use my poles. I had to discard them. And I had a really sore back, really sore knees, and I'm thinking, I'm never doing that again, but yet there are going to be many, many trails I want to hike in my lifetime that are simply going to require my dog to be on a leash. So what can I do just to get Captain over the poles? So this video, it's not so much about teaching your dog how to heel, although these things will help them. It's about getting them over the fear of the poles themselves. Once you get that's the battle. That's not just half the battle, that's the battle. Because after that, everything else is pretty easy. So let me show you real quick, spend a couple minutes, show you what I did with Captain, and maybe you can do the same thing, and you'll be able to enjoy hiking with your dog on leash or off leash and be able to use your poles. All right, I'll back up here a little bit. First thing first, make sure you have motivation. If you're gonna ask your dog to do something scary, cattle dog, he loves a ball, cattle dog. And you guys have seen that in previous videos. So let me get it back from him. Good boy, buddy. All right, so have some sort of reward. Some dogs like the treat. Some dogs like a different type of a toy. Some just want a good old well done from you. And all of those can work. But for this video, I'm going to use a ball because Captain loves the ball, and that's what I used in real life. All right, so what do I do after that? Well, I want to be able to use both of my hands and just kind of move along and not have Captain jerking me here and there if he was afraid initially. So I took a slip leash, it's kind of hanging off of me like a tail right now, and I hooked it to the back of my belt, right back here. And I'll take a picture of it so you guys can see it hooked up there a little bit better. And I did that here on flat land. Remember, I did this back in town. Do you hear me? Do not do this on a very narrow and dangerous hiking trail. Because again, if your dog falls off that trail, you can't get out of this. You can end up going off that trail with your dog. So do yourself a favor. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, so now I made that little point. First thing first, hook up your dog. All right, so a little slip lead here. Cattle dog, leash up, buddy. By the way, that's a really cool command to teach your dog to do, is leash up so you don't have to chase them all over the place. I love it, love it. All right, and then right off the bat, all I did to start with was nothing more than just kind of move my poles around. You see Captain kind of back up a little bit. That's fine. Get out of the way of them. I don't want to jab you. Look at the ends on these things. Look at it. It's like a spear. So I don't want him just going in his paw or through his back or something. No way. So yeah, it's fine to get out of my way a little bit, but think about how long is your leash? 4 feet, 6 feet? Don't go any further than that. Just kind of get used to it. And after you've done this for a little bit, just juking around here, you can even play some music, your favorite song. Yeah, get these things up, man. Go, yeah, man. Get it going, get it going. There you go, there you go. You didn't know I could do that, did you? All right, after you've done that for a little bit, make sure you get the dog the ball. There you go. All right, out. Attaboy. And make sure you can teach out as well. All right, so after you've done that for a little bit, now you need to start moving with your dog. Don't give a big formal heel command. Remember, the dog is tied to you. It's all about just getting over the poles. I cannot say that enough. So I'm just going to say something like, let's go. And we're gone. Just moving around here, baby. Moving my poles. You can be even a little bit more exaggerated with them. Sorry, went out of frame there. Yeah, there you go. Just got to move around. Good. And then after that, you can start to get a little fancy with it. Now we can move. Let's go, cow dog. Switch. Good boy. Switch. Attaboy. Switch. There you go. Good job, cattle dog. Come to a halt. Use your pole there. And you can do all sorts of neat things. All sorts of neat things with your dog. Let's go, buddy. Just move along. Just move your poles. And you can use them for things like don't get too far out ahead of me over here, or back off, you get a little bit too close, you're starting to run into me all the time. Play around with them some. Let's go. Switch. Attaboy. Switch. There you go. You can use those poles. Switch. Get them to go from one side to the other side. You can see Captain having a lot of fun with it. And then when you really start getting into about the third phase of it, you can start to incorporate the word heel. You can even have your dog lay down while it's next to the poles. You can do a little bit of stay work. It depends upon that line's still attached to you. And then the final phase that you'll want to incorporate is you finally want to move with your dog while holding the leash in your hand versus having to connect to you. And that should be a piece of cake by the time you're ready to go. So just one more time. Let's go. Come on, buddy. There we go. You just make them come to a stop right there. Pretty cool, huh? Attaboy, cattle dog. You the man. You the man, cattle dog. Good job. Good job. So there you have it, guys. I just wanted to put that out there. I was just on a hike the other morning with Castell and Captain, and I thought, oh man, I remember the days, buddy, because it was a tough trail. It was one of these mountains right over here. Let me see if I can move this camera around just a little bit. There you go. Yeah, right up there. I had to dip it down some so you can see how high it is. But I was thinking, man, I remember that day. Golly, Captain was petrified over these poles. And then I'm just out there giving it one of these, climbing, sounding like a freight train going up there, huffing and puffing and going, whoo, I gotta get in better shape. And I'm just digging it in, and I'm just digging it in, and then coming down like, whoo, I'm like some sort of spider robot. I'm just giving it this stuff left and right, left and right. And I thought, man, a couple years back, Captain would have disappeared over about 4 mountains away from here. And I thought, look at him now, man. He's just having the grandest time ever. No big deal whatsoever. And I thought, man, I wonder how many other people are about to experience that. Maybe I can head that off at the pass. Maybe they don't have to go through what I went through. Teach you in your yard. Get it done in your yard. Get them just used to the poles. Move a little bit. Then start getting a little fancy with it. Then get the leash in your hand. And heck, then you can even do it off leash. Because again, you'll be hiking a lot of trails without a leash. And you can just dig around there. Okay, guys. I hope you found that helpful. And if you're having problems with your dog in any other area, whether it just be stay or heel, period, without hiking poles, you just need your dog to just work better for you. Just let me know, man, because I tell you what, we got a lot of programs that we can help you out with. And one of our programs, especially for those of you who live a long ways away from dear old Bryan, we have this thing called a 14-day challenge. And it's just a basic obedience series that you can do online at your own pace. We call it 14 days because those of you that are super motivated, you can get it done in 14 days. You can teach things like heel, sit, down, stay, switch, place, everything that I cover in these videos. Might want to give it a shot. All right, guys, Cat and I are going to do a little bit more of this, but I tell you what, I'm going to unhook this tail before someone sees me and thinks, what the heck is that guy doing with his dog? Oh, I love it out here, man. You guys be safe. Get this a shot so you don't have to worry about it, so you can use your darn poles. You can take care.